Welcome everyone to the final episode of Followers of Mayhem, which is not the episode. Admittedly, I shouldn't have put an episode counter on the bar if I wasn't going to keep up with it, but well, I tried. A for effort, maybe? I don't know. I tried.
It's the thought that counts.
So, it's not episode 70 because it's been that for like 9 episodes now, so, yeah.
Episode 80.
Call it time space shenanigans.
I am just going to... Is everyone excited to finally be free from my grasp?
No.
Huh?
I think we all know that we are not free from your grasp after tonight.
True.
Oops. That was not what I wanted to do.
Especially because some of us still have stories to write.
There we go. Alright. Yeah. I was just fixing up the thing because we have a full party, so I had to edit the Discord thing so it could actually be seen. So, shall we begin?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. First things first. Allah. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Now, we will be having a moment at the end where you guys can roleplay and such, but I'm just going to go through each of these things one at a time because no real better way to go through them.
Go for it.
"200 years from now, in the land of Norheim, there are the gods Alar and Eris, twin goddesses of the wild. While it is often argued on which is the older sister, the goddesses of nature were crowned by their grandmother upon her death. Alar, goddess of emotion and destruction. With control of the elements, she is known as being somewhat fickle, a prankster that gets along with Tanuki and other prankster gods. Divine domain, nature. Eris, goddess of responsibility and growth. With a quiet and gentle hand and the strength of the sun behind her, she tends the gardens of the world. Together, they bring balance to nature, and after restoring the land to balance, they both settled into their roles well. Though they do sometimes switch tasks and change duties, sisters stick together. Alexander Goldscale, god of protection and freedom, neutral good. Truly, the strange tiefling children with wings are of more concern than some weird man with grey wings. Jasmine the Scholar. After ascending, Alexander swiftly got to work fighting to protect and defend those whose freedoms were threatened. With slavery still being fought against on the mainland, he slowly but steadily worked towards ridding the land of it. Now it is unheard of, and most don't even know what the word means. It's even used wrongly by folk as a complaint. Me wife, more like my master, and I'm the slave! He often helps protect the barriers that keep Arcania safe. With scales of gold, many don't even know the steel dragons he protects exist. Their identities, his best kept secret. Rumors are the Cartographers Guild, which has its businesses span the entire continent, houses his physical form, where he lives out his days as a wise warlock. But many scholars discredit this theory. After all, that Alex has grey scales, not gold, And his name is Gold Gale, not Scale. It's clearly a coincidence. Divine Domain. War. Vienna. Goddess of schemes and magic. Chaotic neutral. As a mortal, she was the most renowned champion of Sashalas who ever lived. She was also widely considered one of the greatest mages of her era, combining arcane and divine spellcraft in ways one once thought impossible. Eventually, she gathered so much magical power that her mortal form simply could not contain it anymore, and so she ascended to godhood. Her cunning and magical skill, having won her many battles in life, were now the source of her immortality. From her realm of Arcania, Vienna encourages... Sorry? Sorry?
Nothing.
Okay. From her realm of Arcana, whatever you want to call it, Vienna encourages her followers to seek power for its own sake. As far as she is concerned, there is no such thing as forbidden magic. And if one has the power to accomplish some great arcane feat, they have the right to do so. She infamously practiced necromancy during her mortal life, and her followers continue to embrace it to this day. She also favors the devious, watching with delight whenever a mortal puts a clever plan into motion. The more clever the plan, and the less power, magical or otherwise, said mortal starts with, the more likely they are to draw her favor, and, given her habit of handing out arcane power like candy, they are not likely to remain powerless for long. She is widely disliked by the nobility of Mahem for reasons that range from petty bigotry to legitimate grievance. And
God damn it.
I will also put this up. I'm not going to read these, but I will also put these up for people who want to read them.
Divine Domain Arcana, by the way.
Arcana. But yeah, I'm not going to read these out, but they are there and you can pause to read them if you wish. So, next up. Rumours abound of a wise and ancient Aarakocra who tells tales of silver-haired people who are secretly dragons, and how noble and kind they are. As the one who raised them, it is often said by those who meet her that silver-haired children are often seen running around, or older men and women with silver eyes delivering supplies to her. Many hunters have tried to capture her and get her to spill the secrets of the steel dragons. Some say she has finally passed into the afterlife. Some say the steel dragons continue to beseech their father, the platinum dragon, for her life to be extended so that she may raise their young. Regardless of the rumours, the Aarakocran hermit remains a faint echo. With his command of the oceans, the one constant over many islands, and on Mayhem, many continue to pray to him. Sashalas. Said to be one of the strongest gods currently alive, his aloof and casual personality draws many clerics to him. Rumors state that he and the god of magic are dating and have sired demi-human children which roam the world, or demigods. Shippers always prosper, even between gods.
For the record, Vienna sees Sashalas as a father figure. These rumors make her gag.
Crazy.
With his task as a hero done, Dennis moved to the Frozen Academy and underwent training to become the head. The city was soon lifted into the air and now floats around Norheim. With the great elven city no longer being the only source of magical knowledge, the Frozen Academy is seen as the most free and open place to practice magic outside the City of Witches. As long as you don't mind occasionally having to be resurrected when something explodes.
Still exploding, as usual.
The Wandering Half-Orc Warriors. These half-orcs have become their own race in a way, with a tall structure often trumping that of orcs themselves, larger tusks and strength to back it up. These children of the Luxodon and a hero of old continue to thrive in Norheim. The royal family of Nethwa. The kingdom in Mayhem is ruled under a democratic monarchy, and most of the power has been taken from the royal family, with their family tree now free from its bindings. They spread and consider have become far more common. To this day, having white hair on Mayhem is seen as a mark of royalty in yokai civilizations. After the fall of the Platinum Dragon, special marks began to appear on various people. They were studied and shaped and formed into its own brand of magic. And the black market has seen the rise of high technology weapons. I'm not going to read it, but that's there and that's where it came from. So, now we move on to people of the past, player characters. Nami. Nami found the fluffiest tail and married them. Vault.
There are a number of ways to interpret that.
Vault. Lives to this day tendering a small tinkering workshop on Mayhem and a town full of other Warforged.
Hey.
Shikon lived a happy and fulfilling life with his tribe. They are now often the defenders of the north of Mayhem from a certain threat. Chance, I don't know what Chance has done doing. Vienna, what did Chance do with his life?
Oh, no one. Oh, that is not public knowledge. Rumors. There are rumors that he's been going around. There were rumors of him working for the Gentlemen's Club for a while, and then he kind of just vanishes from history at one point. Incidentally, there are now rumors. But around the same time, rumors started popping up of a dragon of some kind living under Grimlock Isle. Totally, certainly.
Lawcraft. Loved and lived. His grave is often visited by followers of the nature gods and is a place of purity. Verlaine. Made trouble, caused trouble, saved the world. Lin Singh. Worked as a ferryman, bringing people to and from Mayhem with their owlcat. Zarya. Danced on. Amran. Vienna.
And he finally got the good night's sleep he's been so desperately looking for.
Nice.
Kovus. Served his city loyally. His wife agrees with him. Echo. Bring sexy back. His grave continues to echo his song. Lorenzo worked hard and made his home proud. A statue of him now rests in a room of heroes.
I mean, he's still alive 200 years later, I think.
It's alright. Surprisingly, this flirt found someone who flirted back. They had 2 Kenku children.
Oh no.
Brock,
Oh yes.
I'm getting to him. I must have forgotten. I must have missed Irene. But, Irene traveled the world and saw everything and still journeys. She's living life, loving, exploring everything she can with her 2 feet. Brock, Hope, Mask, Myrtle, and Oscar serve the guild until their retirement. Oscar runs a small zoo on Mayhem with many exotic pets. Blank, Bees, Gugs, Stabs, Tracker, and Zark. Under the guidance of their clan leader, they moved to Mahem and soon claimed land for their own. Their tribe is now one of the strongest goblin-only tribes in the world. Mittens ate all the fish, married a mermaid.
What the hell? Okay then.
How does that work?
Don't worry about Esmond. I believe in him. He's part druid.
Makes sense.
Now, before I continue, I will mention that you guys will have a chance to talk to Elnath before he enters his eternal
Recollection.
his sleep. But this is just this is just the summary of things. You will have time to roleplay after this. So, Elnath was reincarnated as a human with grey hair. He lives on to this day. There are rumors of a grey-haired scholar who seems to know everything, regardless of his age. Maid and butler both ran the Rose and Shady Sands, until someone took over their duties. Ever since, the Rogues Guild and Shady Sands have called their leaders Maid and Butler, and continue to work closely. Miss Brightly ran her quiet little stall, always a warm smile and a mother to the town. Fenquan would often receive visits from his daughters, and would often say how proud he is. Ampere had many winged tiefling children. Rumors are she may still be alive today. Naxan continued to run his small temple, with the gladiators moving to do their own things. Akria, Seer, and Owlzoo would often visit when not on their own adventures. Elizabeth and Carrig eventually bickered so much they got kicked out. Their small cottage still holds the quiet man as he tends to the flowers his wife loved. Emeril trained and became one of the best-known necromancers. Men feared her and dared not approach her. Dangerous and beautiful, eventually one won her over. Felicia continues to be a constant disappointment.
Aww.
Nellis took over rule of the Frozen Tower after Dennis, and is known for his gentle temperament and inability to take a joke. Drow moved her family to the mainland when the town became too small. They travel the land, selling Mercy's wares using dimensional keys that lead to the store in Frozen. They now come in all colors of the rainbow and explode at times. Clovis worked at the bar quietly with his sister. He finished her final book and retired to live with his wife. Posco continued to do rogue things. Rude stood guard until the day he could guard no more. Reese was reincarnated as a fox spirit to continue spreading Tanuki's teachings. Robert fought and defended Fulma during the demon invasion. He sacrificed himself to defend Prosh while Fulma was moved to a safer distance by Seshalos. Twig continued his adventures. Varth?
Varth led at the Battle of Fulma on the ground. And she was the last S1 through the portal when the people of Ash were evacuated. It is, and to this day she serves in Arcrania as Vienna's High Priestess.
Alright. The Gold Gale family continues to this day, continuing to make maps. Wiztig and Shipley did wizard things. Adrasil quietly spends his days with a certain Aarakocra. Jones served as a medic until he was able to join his wife in the afterlife. Seren lived a long and happy life thanks to Allah's magic. Rumors are she was moved to the realm of the gods, where she lives with Allah in peace. Judah saw the land and travelled it, and peacefully retired when it was time. Mia Bella continues to live in the City of Magic as an information broker. Icarus delivered letters, but never forgot the young centaur he loved like a daughter. Errol lived a happy life with his wife. Dapple boated and traded. Kame still travels the land. Fisk continued to wander the land aimlessly. Fork met Spoon, and they had a daughter named Spork. Golemov spent his days peacefully with his tribe. Hunter got hunted. A chicken killed him. Well, cockroaches. Issa lived her life happy and healthy. Mercy and Naybirds continued their jobs. Maggie wrote smut and romance for the rest of her days. She married and had 2 children. Sword led his clan. Grail lives, fashionably so. Minty eventually ran out of brains to turn into pets and went mad. Lariska continues to live in the realm of magic with Birkin and a retired thief. And now we move to the antagonists. Karma's anger to Alar eventually dampened, and she would mend ties with her home a few years later. Sorgox continues to work for Vienna. He does try to overthrow her occasionally, but it never pans out. It's become sort of a game for them.
Trying to out-scheme the god of schemes. Yeah, I feel like I've heard that one before. Did not end well.
Avath eventually found a female dragon and settled down. The Owlcats and Eagle Dogs found flocks to fly with when they were no longer needed. Our cats often perch at Frozen, and are great chess partners. Kaana quietly lived with Kagura, and upon his death, she remained curled up on his chest, slipping into the afterlife with him. And that should be everyone.
Hey.
Did I miss anyone or anything you want to ask about before we move to the final bit of roleplay?
I would say maybe Vierna's ex-captain, but considering how long elves live for, he's probably just disappeared off the map.
Oh yeah, that guy. Well, he unfortunately decided to pick sides with the devils and demons, and let's just say,
No one's side. Well, no one's side. He just disappeared off the map. You don't take anything up for him.
yeah, it's almost like, he never existed in the first place. It's really
Read the
weird.
Fall of Pride to find out what happened to Dante.
Dante is explained in the Fall of Prosh. Would you like me to read it out? Would you guys like me to read it out?
Read it out for the listeners.
Alright. Vienna's sin's ascension to godhood caused upheavals in Dark Elf society. Many former Jorogumo worshippers happily converted, relieved to be under the watch of a less capricious and more generous goddess. This caused a panic among the Drow nobility, who correctly believed Vienna to be a threat to their authority. They stoked the fears of more traditionally minded Drow, casting the new goddess as an upstart who would bring the wrath of Jorogumo on them. A string of murders later, Prosh was on the brink of chaos. The Platinum Dragon's followers stepped in, hoping to mediate between the religious factions. Both sides agreed to send representatives. The talks turned bloody within approximately 8 minutes. It's not too clear what precisely triggered the fighting to break out. The Jorogumo representatives insisted that Vienna's followers had insulted them, baiting them into attacking. Vienna's followers claimed that Jorogumo's cultists attacked when their demands were immediately met. Either way, the assassination attempt was easily foiled, and only one cleric of Jorogumo survived to escape. Over the next few weeks, the traditionalists tried to spin a tale of betrayal on Vienna's part, but by that point there was little use for propaganda. Prosh had already descended into civil war. The battle went largely in Vienna's favour. Despite the controversy surrounding her, Vienna had many allies among Prosh's movers and shakers. The civilian populace generally sympathised with her, and Vienna's clerics were the most magically advanced on Mayhem. The Jorogumo followers were forced out of Prosh bit by bit, until they had all but been expelled from the city. Smarting at these losses, at the humiliation, the traditionalists gathered their best remaining agents. These agents were sent to assassinate Dante Tissin, Vienna's father and the ruler of Prosh's Fiend Quarter. They knew it was Dante's will alone that kept the Fiends loyal. None of the other agents survived the mission, but they did succeed in killing Dante, and the predictions of the matrons come to pass. The demons and devils ran wild upon Dante's death. They slaughtered the townfolk in droves, overrunning the entire city in a matter of hours. Vienna's forces scrambled as the battle for control of Prosh suddenly turned into an effort to evacuate citizens. Vienna herself, in her first true miracle as a goddess, created a new magical plane of existence that people could be quickly evacuated to. The Jorogumo followers, for their part, withdrew into the northern wilds, their final act of spite achieved. If they couldn't have Prosh, nobody could. In the aftermath of the battle, the city was completely abandoned. It had been reduced to a lawless war zone overrun by demons and undead. The borders are still patrolled by golems, titans, and retrievers to ensure that nothing gets loose to endanger the rest of Mayhem. Having nowhere else to go, Vienna's followers settled in the new plane, Arcania.
Arcrania. Yeah.
Many smaller demi-planes were attached to it, and entrances began to be established on Mayhem and on Norheim, doubling as Vienna's temples. The extraplanar realm was built up into a city in its own right, the City of Witches. The humans and part-humans of Norheim, ostracized by their high elven overlords for ancient sins, flocked to her banner, attracted by a new society that wouldn't reject them, which has led to some tensions with the elves of Norheim. Jorogumo's followers, meanwhile, were infuriated to find that their vengeance had been incomplete. Instead of being wiped out, the upstarts now had a nearly unassailable dimensional fortress from which to spread their goddess's will. With their political ties all burned away due to their betrayal at the peace talks, they decided to return to the old drow way of life, dwell in underground enclaves, capture any surfaces that come across, and enslave them or sacrifice them to Jorogumo, and generally lead lives of debauchery and sadism. They can be found in small cults and marauding bands all over, a new scourge on the continent.
Ow.
Why the
Ah,
nobility doesn't like Vienna? She is a drow. She didn't get the Platinum Dragon's permission before becoming a goddess. She and her followers openly practice black magic and necromancy. She keeps causing Norheim nobility to be born as wild mages. Matter of terrible scandal. Because she thinks it's funny. She encourages mages to seek power for their own sake and do what they want with it. You know, how dare she?
Thank you for reading them out for the listeners of ours.
So, with all that done, there's just one last thing I want to do before I give the floor to you guys.
Go ahead.
It was some time after the fall of the Astral Dragon, but you are all called to the beach room in the demiplane by Alex. All you are told is that it's time. You see Elnath, well, it's more you see a silver dragon laying on the sand, one eye looking towards you all. Does anyone want to do anything?
Alex takes in a deep breath and sighs. It's, well, as I said, it's time. Elnath is... It's his final moments. If any of you wish to say anything, then be sure to say it now.
And Gerda walks over, like she's shifts into her, it's from her god form to something with legs. Eggs and just sits down next to him. Tell me, old man, did your ships come to pass?
Not all of them. But
Viera
some.
got the most smug smile on her face about that one.
It was my loss, I'm afraid. I lost the fight.
I don't get what is going on.
He lost the shipping war.
Ah,
We'll explain when you're older, Warforged.
I do not need to do reproductions.
Rura, come here, please.
Rura was kind of quiet because she doesn't really know what to say, but she'll slowly walk up to him at his request.
He brings his head close and gives the dragon equivalent of a hug by gently bumping his head into you and saying, just do your best to have a wonderful life.
Tears finally start to come to her eyes as her shoulders shake. She tries not to sob loudly. She manages to hold them back fairly well, but she does get little sniffles, and she goes, okay, and softly rubs her head back against his.
He gives a warm smile and he says, remember to smile.
I'll try. She gives a sad smile, but she rubs her eyes quickly when no more tears just fall, and she goes, thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything as well. Anything else anyone wants to do?
Sorry, go ahead.
Grisera approaches Ilnath, holding up what would one think was a glass of wine, but is in fact grape juice. You had a good run, old man. Now you can finally rest. She then pats her stomach. And I'll be sure to tell this little one about what you did for all of us.
May we meet again in the next life.
Grisera drinks the grape juice and cheers before stepping back.
Anyone else got anything?
Kagura steps up and kneels by Elnath's head and places a hand on his snout, out his head down, sobbing. We never got to make up the time Julie took from us. I feel like I only just got you back only to lose you again. It's not fair.
We can always visit each other in your dreams. In your dreams.
I'm holding you to that.
He gives a warm smile. Anyone else?
Alar steps forward. What can I say, Elnath? A man shrouded in mystery to the very end, grateful and deaf. However, yeah, you won't be the last seeing from me. I still gotta pay you back for all the things you time-stopped me for.
I'm sure you'll pay me back in dividends.
Alar gives a nod at that.
Do be sure to take care of your plant. Remember to water it every day.
Who do you take me for?
Where's your plant currently? He just gives this small, tired smirk.
Of course, you do something like this.
Consider it my final gift to you. Meanwhile, in the garden, a plant that has been taught how to read is currently reading a specific certain book.
Oh dear.
Funny enough, he can read. Forget what book it was.
It's Allah's diary.
Yeah, yep.
Take care.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yep.
Step forward and give me a hug.
Alex sighs and he does step forward, and he transforms into his dragon form and gives Elnath a hug as best he can.
There you go. Now, repeat after me. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
He gives a warm smile and he says, I'll see you in the next life. In one form or another.
See you later, Elnath. You were the best damn patron I could have ever asked for.
You will watch as slowly his eyes close and he appears to enter into some sort of sleep.
There it goes.
You are now free to roleplay as you wish.
Alex, sorry, go ahead.
Goodbye, Uncle Elnath.
Alex transforms back and he looks to Vierna. Vierna, when he finally does pass on, do you mind if I talk to you privately?
Sure, I have some probably somewhat insensitive questions to ask you.
Well, you know me. Insensitivity is what I'm all about. So, where are you all going to head off to?
Well,
Alright.
back to Prosh. I've got I'm kind of busy turning our criminal empire into a cult right now.
Don't know if that's an upgrade
You're-
or a downgrade.
Turning it into a cult?
I mean- I'm a god now, aren't I? God should have cults. Like she just takes a sip of alcohol. Damn, that can't affect me anymore.
I was going to say that stuff shouldn't really affect you anymore, should it?
No,
They have
not-
they have alcohol for gods. You just sort of create it and it gives you
200 proof.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they have it, but it tastes terrible because of the high alcohol content. Just can't win.
Well, kinda ashamed that you went with the godhood.
And still, and still worth it.
I was. You
You
never
say
were the
so.
person to. You never were the person to have any regrets.
Yeah.
How about the rest of you? I mean, I would like to think we'd all keep in contact, even if we went our separate ways.
You know my place. I'm pretty much having my own workshop at the Warforged city by now. And I'm working on a neat little prototype of mine.
Well, I guess I'll stop by and see what that's all about later on.
Just be very to be pretty prepared for possible explosions.
Buddy, I've hung around Dennis for the past year or so I'm pretty confident I can handle explosions by now.
Explosions are the fun part.
I can actually agree on that, especially if they are meant to explode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you all know where to find me. And Virna, I'll stop by Prosh in a bit, okay? And when you all blink, Alex is gone. Just like he disappeared.
You think you would have listened to what the rest of us were gonna do?
Bjorn's staring. Wait. Since when can he do that?
Have you been around Alex?
Yes,
I was pulling myself together for 5 years. When could he do that? Since when could he do that?
well, Elnath was his patron after all.
Allard just shrugs. Who knows? Maybe he gained the ability. Maybe he had a new power.
Maybe he used his wish.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
That was no spell. What was that?
Why don't you ask him if you're so curious about it?
Yeah,
I mean,
think that. Well, back to
Wait.
Bill. And then Vierna just then a huge pillar of green flame just erupts around Vierna, and when it dies down, she's just gone, like she was never there.
always dramatic entrance and exits with her.
You don't know me. Like you hear the back of my head. You don't know me, Warforged.
Always the dramatic exits with her.
I heard stories about you from the others. And yes, by that time, the Warforged actually acts almost like a human. Minus the feelings.
So after about roughly over a year of travel, that's how we ended it. Well, it was a good run at least.
Kagura steps up and stands where Alex once stood, his back facing everyone, and he says, "Well, I'm sure you'll know where to find me, anyways, Alex. I'll probably be having some important talks with the Cartographers Guild. You're not getting rid of me that easily." He raises his hand up in the air, his palm raised high. Besides, we've still never settled which of us would win in a sword fight.
I guess you can still take it after.
Like I said, he'll know where to find me.
True.
Yeah, and well, I still need to talk to you about a few things, Kagura. About that thing we talked about.
I know. Would you be able to get in touch with the Luxodon matriarch once we get back?
She's already waiting for you at the castle.
Perfect. Then we can settle things as soon as we get back.
Grisera just grins sheeply. Sorry, she likes to be spontaneous.
Well, it'd be hypocritical of me to criticize her for that, considering we aren't much better.
Still, thanks again for doing this, Kagra.
Like I said, there's just a part of Mayhem as the rest of us.
Gazera then looks to the others. You know where I'll be. My adventuring days are done. She gently pats her. She places a hand on her stomach again. Besides, I can't exactly be chopping off heads with this one on the way.
I'm going to be running the wizard school. I also have kids to raise as well.
Just try not to blow the place up. All right. I'm sure the old man and you said he'd be rolling in his grave if you did that.
Okay. DM, I do want to know how far along the timeline is this at the moment?
This is like a couple of weeks after the Astral Dragon.
Okay. Dennis says, okay.
Pretty sure that he
I
is
will
going
see what
to
I can do.
pretty sure that he's going to turn so much in his grave that he can create a new thing on his own to power the city.
Allah, what are you doing?
Aura looks one last time to the group, and she just gives a wave before motioning to the door. Well, guess this is it then. Goodbye, everyone.
You're not leaving without me, are you?
No, I'm gonna pick you up. Where's Chester, by the way, sir?
She's reading your diary in the garden. I'm
Chester!
sorry. Sorry, I didn't. Elna ordered me not to interfere. I'm sorry.
Don't listen to him.
I'm sorry.
Hello. My friend. It's been a while. Where have you been?
I've been doing a lot of important things, Chester.
Oh.
What are you doing? What is that in your hand?
Oh, I found this book detailing all of your adventures. Thought it'd be a good read.
There is this odd bit about Alex having perfect pecs that confuses me.
Yeah.
I mean, given what you are, it probably makes you think of like a woodpecker or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I just snatches the book.
Oh,
You can read anything but this. Do not read this.
oh, sorry. Maybe I should have gotten your permission first.
Yes, I would have liked that. A lot.
He looks a little wilted.
Chester, you can read any other book. Just
Okay.
You know that book might become a holy text one day.
I will burn this book before it becomes a holy text.
I mean, and you see Seren slowly go redder and redder and says, I might have made a few copies.
Olar just snaps her head almost inhumanly to Seren, almost. And she just like glares at her What do you mean, a few copies?
I mean, Ella.
What did you read this?
I mean, you left it out on your bed one. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
left
Sir,
it
we
out.
gotta find those copies now.
You left it on your bed one day, and I'm sorry.
What? Did you read my diary when it's on the bed? This is why I buy a locked book, not an unlocked book. God dang it.
I'm sorry, I picked the lock. I wanted to know what you thought of me when I mean it was really cute. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Well, at least you now know what I liked about you. Not reading my book is one of them.
I'm sorry. She begins to cry.
Oh my goodness. Soren.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You just quiet. Calm down.
You made your girlfriend cry. Good job, Vixen.
No,
And you made your plant cry,
I made
technically.
the cry and the girlfriend cry.
No, Nami goes up to Fred and gives her a hug and says, "Ed, Badalar made Sren cry."
I'm sorry. No, it's my fault. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I guess that's what Enough meant with a final gift, eh? Could have asked me for a lock.
Alar's eyebrow like twitches in irritation, and she just like lights the book on fire with magic.
I can just see Alara like holding a fist up to the air and going, Elmas!
Nami just says, "It's not your fault, Sren. It's her fault for putting her thoughts where we could see them."
Fire.
Let's go, you two. We got a long day's travel ahead of us.
Yeah, I'll have to get my copy back from Maggie.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry.
And Maggie is just going to spread so many rumors about Alar now.
The printing press is a wonderful invention.
Word of mouth.
Your diary is about to become published work, Alar.
I will burn you next.
I'm sorry.
No.
And so the three, with two very much apologizing profusely, head out the door.
Why do I get people who apologize constantly to me, who just attract to me? I don't understand what I did.
Well, maybe you've got a type, okay?
That's just gonna be a thing in your clergy. When you
They're just gonna apologize.
Yeah. All your clerics are just gonna be people who constantly apologize. Like, and all your paladins are gonna have like one of their creeds is apologize for everything, even if you did nothing wrong.
They're Canadians, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. Probably not gonna. Probably not gonna put that in Flames of the Divine. I think Lala is a better DM for channeling that sort of thing.
Oh man.
Well, is there anything anyone would like to do before we wrap up the final session?
But yeah, Alex is just waiting for Vierna in her office, essentially.
It's basically about a minute after you leave, Vierna shows up in like a pillar of green flame.
Ooh, flashy.
Okay, how the hell did you get in there so fast?
Well,
That was no spell. What was that?
To make a long story short, I made a wish, and my wish was I can go wherever I want, just at will.
Damn, son.
Virna, I gives him a critical eye. I see you. I see you read the book.
Define which book? I've read a lot of books the past 5 years.
The Ultimate Power book.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I read it.
And do you know yet what I meant by ultimate power?
Godhood?
That obvious, was it?
I mean, yeah, kinda. Plus, well, I went ahead and asked Sasha about it, and well, you know.
And here I was hoping to surprise you all at the final battle. Oh well.
Virna, we've dealt and talked to gods for like the past 5 or so years, like I said. Do you really think it's that surprising?
Yeah. By the way, so time for that insensitive question I mentioned. Now that your patron is gone, do you still have warlock powers?
Oh yes, I do still have powers, and he, you know, demonstrates. I'm just more of a sorcerer now.
Eh.
Yeah, it's not as impressive as your magic or anything as such, but power was never really my end goal.
Okay, I'm looking at DM. Is he a god? Yes.
It's like, it's like snaking a kid their tooth fairy money. They don't know it's there, but you know it's there. If that makes sense. Alex isn't aware of it yet, but he like Alar, is very much just on the... They just need to pull up the pillow, so to speak, to realize it.
So...
Because they didn't do the, because they didn't do the ritual, they've got to discover it, whereas you forced it, so to speak.
Oh yeah, like, just to be clear, Vierna basically what she did was she derived a 9th level spell to achieve godhood, and then used the last of her mother's shards to basically bypass the magical power requirement.
Jesus Christ, man.
But yeah, TLDR, both Alara and Alex are technically gods, they just don't they don't know they are yet.
But, well, back on track. Like I said, I wanted to speak with you privately, and so, well, I'll just get this out of the way. Alex stands up and walks over to you.
Yeah, like, Vierna is in full goddess form, by the way, so she's, like, 20 feet tall.
Yeah, it's like they're not thinking with portals yet, to use a reference.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. You got a really good figure as a goddess, I have to say.
Thank you.
Not sure about the snake tail, but it adds kind of a
Yeah,
charm
I don't
to
know
you.
I don't know where that came from. I mean, I kind of like it, but I'm not sure. I'm sure where it came from.
As long as you don't mind people calling you a Yuan T, I'm sure you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But regardless, well, can you just kind of bring yourself down to eye level a little bit, please?
Yeah, she like sort of shifts down and like it kind of morphs back into the figure you remember.
5 years. 5 years I put my trust in you, and I didn't even know what exactly you were doing. 5 years.
Mostly I was floating in small chunks around the astral sea.
Hell, everyone I asked, no one knew what happened to you. I guess I guess what I'm trying to say is that's the longest I've I think I've trusted someone and not known what they were up to.
Well, it's only appropriate. That's the longest anyone's ever trusted me.
Alex seems to go silent for a bit, and he just smiles at you and rather suddenly gives you a hug. Welcome back.
Good, good to be back. And you hear sort of it almost feels like the atmosphere shifts just suddenly. You get the sense that you're not you are looking at you're not even really looking at the full Vienna right now.
But yeah, he lingers on the hug a little bit and pulls away. I know you're not a hugging sort of person, just you know how I am.
Yes.
Well, I imagine we're going to be seeing a lot more of each other in the coming years, but I just wanted to pull you aside and say, well, if you need me for anything, I hope you know you can trust me.
Of course.
Trust is a fickle thing, but honestly, after all that time waiting, I think I can say for certain that, well, if anyone's coming after you, you should know I have your back.
If you just laugh oh, someone come after me. Let them come. I need test subjects for these god powers.
It's more likely than you'd think.
I appreciate
a lot of people think. And well. So, shall we make it more of a weekly get together? Since, as I said, we'll probably be seeing a lot of each other.
Oh, sure.
I mean, I can just come here whenever I want, but, I'd rather there be some sort of notice ahead of time so that, the guys out front aren't kicking down the door, wondering what the hell's going on.
And yeah, as they're, they've had to adjust to a lot of things lately.
Well, I'm sure under new management they're a lot better, because, seriously, I actually heard rumors that while they were under your mother, they didn't really do their jobs properly. Shit they were supposed to report, they didn't report on. No wonder everyone didn't like them.
Yeah.
What about your friend who was in charge of the syndicate now that you're back? Is she just back to being your second in command?
Something like that.
Well, you got any questions I'm sure you can find me without much issue. But yeah.
And I can cast magic. I can cast unlimited magic now, Alex. I can just hold a conversation with you via sending.
Yeah, but well, this is more personal, don't you think? I'd rather talk to you face to face.
I guess.
What can I say? I miss my friend.
Yes. I'm gonna be honest now, Alex. If it weren't for the existence of M here, I'd almost be. I'd be wondering if you were about to propose marriage or something. Ridiculous, I know, but that is how you have been talking this entire conversation.
I'm sorry. I can be dramatic sometimes, I guess. I'm sorry.
It's part of your charm, Alex.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You're a fantastic woman, but I've kind of had a personal rule that I don't date anyone who's over 100 years older than me.
Won't be a problem for much longer.
Rules adjusted for scale, I suppose.
Won't be a problem for much longer.
Well.
I'm just teasing. Don't mind me.
Yeah. I mean, well, as far as to my knowledge, I've pretty much stopped dating, so maybe in 500 years or so we'll try it on, see what happens, but
Wait, what?
as it currently stands... Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you, as a gift to me from the Platinum Dragon, I'm actually immortal now.
Thought he hated humans.
He doesn't. He just sees it as balance. I mean,
He invented an
everyone's
entire race of evil dragons and said, hey, these guys represent humans.
Yeah, well, keep in mind what happened. Everyone sacrificed themselves to effectively put the power of the universe into a mortal body. He had to do something to balance that out. I mean, you're the goddess. I mean, Virna, you're the goddess of magic now. Certainly, you understand, give and take at this point.
Okay, but I'm not sure what the humans got given.
They weren't given anything. He just created dragons, evil dragons, and everyone blamed them for it.
Yes,
he never really did.
Came out and said to blame them for it.
Did he? Quick, DM, did he say that?
No, he actually didn't, but everyone in Mayhem believes that's why he created them. No one's actually asked him.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's a misconception.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alex just says he didn't tell them anything. That was just something they assumed from the get-go.
What the hell would... Well, then my opinion of the people of Norheim has dropped dramatically.
I mean, we're kind of a few thousand years advanced of them. Cut them a little slack.
I will do no such thing. And being less advanced doesn't give you the right to stop thinking.
Fair enough. But, yeah. I guess we'll see where we're at in 500 years. Maybe people will try.
To give it as an example, it's like the smear campaign the Joraguma followers tried to do with Vienna, but on a more massive scale. And it was actually successful, because the elves held the power.
Yeah. But
just, that's
anyway.
just out of character knowledge.
Yeah. And...
But yeah,
and in that moment... And in that moment, a highborn baby on Norheim suddenly experiences its first wild magic surge in the crib.
God.
Everyone in the room suddenly turns blue.
But yeah, Alex says, I'll just wrap this up quickly since I know you're busy, but I'm glad to have you back, and I'll try to make this a weekly thing. Just us, shooting the shit, as it were.
Right.
And like I said, hey, maybe in 500 years we'll see if we try it on, but, chances are not, because...
Yeah.
I think you're all forgetting that Alar has first dibs, okay?
Yeah.
Wait, since when? Random voice in the sky.
she Alar actually told Alex, But nah, I'm just poking the fun.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong, that power is attractive, and you're already an attractive woman, but I'd rather we just stay friends.
For the third time, Alex, I was joking.
Yeah, I know, I'm just driving it into the ground. Sorry. But anyway.
You wouldn't be you if you didn't.
Yeah, well, there's actually one other person I need to catch up with before I head back to work, so I'll see you later, yeah?
See you.
And when you blink, he's gone.
And I deliberately go without blinking just to see how it happens.
And he just stands there staring at you, and he says, "You're not fun." And what?
I want to see what is actually going on.
Okay, well, what happens is, essentially, Alex snaps his fingers, and it seems almost like he disappears in a flash of gold light.
All right. So
Like not,
duplicate.
like
All
not
right.
in, like not in, like not intense enough that you would be blinded by it, but you can tell it is kind of like a brief, poof sort of thing.
Vienna immediately starts like analyzing everything she knows in her head and trying to see if it can be duplicated. Side project.
I'd say it'd take you about 200 years, give or take, before you'd be able to replicate it, and you could even probably make it so that it does a purple flash of light if you wanted. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, where Alex heads off next is, well, he goes to see Alar and, Seren and everyone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hi there.
I'll get it back, I promise.
Yeah, I'm sorry I just kind of disappeared like that. It was a bit inconsiderate of me.
It's okay. I mean, I sort of left in the same fashion, too. I just said my goodbyes and moved on.
Well. So, how you holding up, Alar?
It's an odd question to ask. But, I'm doing well, personally. I'm a little bit sad that we lost El, but I'm sure I'll see him again sometime.
Yeah, I was thinking of heading back there after a bit. He's gonna be in his recollection for a good few days before he finally passes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'd ask because, well, I'm sorry I'm making this awkward.
Well, what do you want to ask about it? You came here for a reason, did you not?
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd let you know that, well, I'm immortal now.
Ah, I did remember that wish. Or that gift.
That actually wasn't my wish. That was a gift from the Platinum Dragon. That was,
Elnath requested it for Alex.
Yeah, I mean, well, long story short, Elnath made a request of it for me, and, well, there you go.
Fair enough. I'm just gonna enjoy my trip. I'm not sure where else to go, and just making sure the land's fine.
Yeah, well, I'll try and visit you as much as I can. Just, to keep in touch with everyone.
Good luck finding me.
I found you now, didn't I?
Not actively trying to hide, though, am I?
Well, my new power does need a bit of stress testing, so I guess we'll see.
Good luck.
But yeah, I'll just one final thing before I head off.
What's going on?
He walks up to you and gestures you to kneel down a little.
Why are you always so short? You're always so short, she mumbles. And she kneels down.
And he, gives you a gentle hug.
Eh? And she just looks a little confused at this, but she hugs him back.
Just, you've been a very good friend for all this time, and, well, I know there's been some problems between us here and there, me always keeping secrets and all that, and I'm just glad that you never really held it against me.
Well, we needed each other. We needed everybody. That's what matters.
If I'm being honest, you're probably one of the few people in the world who can probably keep me honest.
It annoys me a little bit, but it's worth getting annoyed over.
Well, I'll stay in touch. Just so I let you know that, well, I'll be thinking about you.
No. See how long I live for. She just gives a cheeky Mr. Immortality over here.
Well, you take care of Seren, alright?
Of course.
And Chester.
Yes,
Hello.
Chester's
I'm
being-
still here. I'm just.
Alright, well. I better head off now. I shouldn't keep everyone tied up like this.
No.
He- He snaps his fingers and he's gone.
Let's go, Seren. Chester.
Oh, of course, La. Wherever you want to go.
I'll always be with you, Malar.
And I will too. Yeah.
Oh, I got a feeling this train's gonna be a lot more noisier with me.
Well, I am sorry about your book. I didn't actually give it to Maggie. That was
You what?
I'm sorry. I thought it would be funny.
It wasn't funny, sir. No.
I'm sorry.
I feel taunted, teased, abused, mentally drained, and defeated now.
I just wanted to open you up to the idea because I think it would make a really good story.
No, Seren. Wait, that means I burned my only book?
I'm sorry.
Seren.
I'm sorry.
Rura's around the corner just smiling at them.
Seren. Now it's my only book.
I mean, Elnath might have a copy in his library, but I didn't actually make any copies.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know where to start anymore, so I'm just gonna continue on. This rabbit hole has gone too far.
Meanwhile,
Rura just
Rura,
Rura just looks amused, but with a fond smile, and she just finished making the last, well, not last, but a batch of goodbye dragon chocolates for everybody, and starts to hand them out.
as you're handing them out, Rura, you notice a book in your bag that has Allah's handwriting in it.
I noticed that now. I can notice that later.
No, you notice it a little later. And a little note has been written on it, and it says, Don't use this all at once.
My God.
You can't see it, but I am saluting Elnath right now. So Rura, she still has some tears, and her eyes are more redder than usual because she was crying the whole time she was making these. But she smiles, grateful to Gazura and Kagura for giving her some reassurance that she can go visit them anytime she wants while she was cooking. And she hands them a little baggie with a little ribbon on it of the dragon chocolates that she made, and hands it to them first, since they were the ones that kept her company. And she smiles.
Yeah, where were you, Allah? Where were you? Huh? Where are you? Where are you, Allah? You went in the kitchen, comforting your little sister. Where were you? Huh?
I was dealing with an existential crisis about my books.
Oh, well, poor you. You're so hard done by.
Thank you.
She's a bad bodyguard and bad big sister.
Damn straight. You know I'm joking.
Damn paper all over again.
So she'll just smile as she goes, I'll be sending more of these to you guys now and then if I don't visit too often, I promise.
Don't forget to live for yourself too, Rira.
Oh, of course. How else are you going to be able to get them? She grins with a. It's a sad grin, but she still tries to smile as best she can. And then she flexes her wings. She goes, "After all, I'm my own carrier pigeon." That's a joke.
I think you misheard me. I said don't forget to live for yourself.
Oh, she looks a little surprised, and she gives a small uneasy smile. She goes, "I'll try. I've only ever lived for Elnath, and now I'm not really sure what to do."
Well, I'm sure you'll get that. I'm sure you'll get that figured out in time.
Well, I'll have plenty of it, that's for sure. But you're right. She gives a better smile, but she's still kind of sad. It's kind of hard not to. She's an open book. It's hard for her to hide it.
That's true. I'm sure your shifter friend is also going to accept you with open arms.
Oh, thank you, Volt. I'm starting to realize that now, that even though I feel like I'm alone now, it'll sink that I'm really not, because everybody's still telling me to come visit them, and I am gonna be lonely without you guys, so I'll definitely come visit, I promise.
That's good.
I have a small army you can visit.
As long as they don't pluck out my feathers. They've been doing that in my sleep lately, and it's been kind of annoying, Dennis.
Oh, I didn't know that. I will correct them.
I didn't want to be a bother, but yes, please. If I'm going to come visit.
Okay.
We don't want the pretty singing bird without the feathers, don't we?
Well, she gives a small shrug and she flexes and she goes, I mean, they may not always be this color. But for now, yeah. I mean, if they want a feather, I will give them some that fall out, but just not forcibly.
Okay. I'll let them know that.
Thank you, Dennis. And she'll give him a bag of dragon chocolates as well.
So,
I should. And then real quick, she's gonna run over to Alar and then leap up and pull her in a hug.
What? Hey.
Hey,
Mira.
Seren panics for a moment and then also jumps up and hugs her.
Ah!
Ben looks around the corner and looks and he's like, "Is this Hug Alar Day?"
No.
Hi.
Yeah. Rira starts to cry again. She goes, "Well, it is today."
What? Mira, calm down.
Just she kind of is almost sobbing now, and she has like little hiccups between trying not to sob. And she goes, I just really love you, big sis, and I just know I'm always gonna look up to you.
Alar pauses for a moment and looks to Rura and just places a hand on her head. You're free to come with me whenever you want to. I'll make sure I'll find my way to you.
Rura hides her face for a second as she wipes her eyes, and then she gives Alar a little stern glare with a pout, and she goes, "You better. Because if I don't see you very often, I'm going to be very mad."
Oh, we can't have that, can we, Larry?
No, because when I get mad or stressed out, my feathers fall out. So you'll be the reason why I go bald. She tries to sound threatening, but it does. It's not. It's coming out as like a little childish pout.
Yeah, so you better take care of yourself and sorry.
Like Trent said, you have to take care of yourself too. because then you're gonna go bald.
Oh, we can't have that. No.
Yeah. You see?
Oh
Yeah,
man,
and
you
then-
really convinced me there. I guess I just have to visit you more often, Ruri.
I'll find a way to visit you too, Big Sis. Count on it, because I have a feeling you're gonna forget, and I'm gonna get lonely, and I'm gonna get upset. So I gotta come marching over to wherever you are and tell her how it is.
I'll make sure she doesn't forget. I'll remind her that every day.
Oh my goodness, why do I feel like being attacked right now? What is
Right,
Because we
We're
love
in
you.
giggles.
that? No! No!
Is this how you show love? I don't get it.
Just
It's
take notes.
Rura feels a little more better, and then she'll go down and hug Shren next, really tightly, like, I love you too, Shren.
I love you too, sis, big sis.
This is a really weird relationship we got going on here.
Yep, kinda. Rura will let Shren go, and then give her a bag of dragon chocolates, and then look up to Alar, and then she'll look up at her blink, and she'll go, why are you always so tall? And then reach up to give her the dragon chocolates.
That's just short. Alar like kneels down to get the chocolates, but apparently she's really tall.
I mean, well, you are like 7 feet or something, I believe.
I just measured today is 7.5.
I mean, but it just means there's, more to look up to.
Chester, let's go.
What? Not me?
Yeah. Rura smiles, feeling a little more better, and then she'll sigh and put the rest of the bags that she made for everyone else in her bag, and she'll go, oh, I'm pretty sure Alex will find me sooner or later, so I'll make sure to save his dragon chocolates for later. And then for a second, she'll blink, saying that there was a book. As she put the dragon chocolates away, she'll see there was an unknown book she wasn't aware of in her bag. She looks confused for a second, but then chucks it off, or checks it to check later, and closes her bag.
Alar calls out to Sren, we're leaving.
Seren sort of.
And real quick, Rura will also give a bag to Nami, and she goes, if you ever have another recipe you want me to make, just come find me, alright, Nami?
Okay.
In fact, I'll even give you some lessons. Every so often when I'll stop by to visit you, we'll make something new, okay?
I'd like that.
I hate goodbyes. I'm sorry, out of character. I hate goodbyes.
Is there anything anyone else would like to do before we wrap this session up?
Oh yeah. Wood looks over to Dennis. You do, you really should put a room where explosions won't go out of it. I pretty much will do that to
Sounds
test
like
my
a good
stuff.
idea. Why haven't I thought about that yet?
Might be because of your little childrens. And also get used to it, to what Alar just had to deal with. Pretty sure they'll pile up on you and...
That's already happened. At least twice.
will happen much more. And the bigger they are, the more the more awkward.
Hopefully
know,
they will
it's-
stop doing that when they get big enough.
I don't know. It depends on children's after all.
So, is there anything else anyone would like to do before we wrap up?
I have one more thing
Okay.
before I go. Rura will go back to where Elnath finally rested. She'll have an extra baggie of dragon chocolates. She's not crying anymore, but she still looks sad as she places the dragon chocolates right next to where he fell asleep for good. And she'll give a sad but happy smile. She goes, "Thank you, Elnath, my savior, for teaching me how to make a real family. I don't know if I can do the task you set me out for well enough, but I have time." She's trying to talk, but she's still nervous, even talking to kind of nothing at the moment. And she'll take a deep breath to calm down, and she'll say, "I don't think I did enough for you, but I'll continue to live on and tell your story, as well as your children when I meet them. I promise. I'll spend the rest of my life repaying back your kindness by showing the kindness you give me to others. I promise." And then she'll give a bow, and then quickly wipe her eyes, and then smile, and then walk away.
So,
Kagura will be there, standing at the beach, watching all this.
okay, so the time passes, and the chocolates long since having gone off and molded, but the bag still remained, even as the dragon body slowly turned to stone. And then 5 years later, perhaps Ruru is going to visit and place down some flowers. Perhaps she's replacing the chocolates. Regardless, as she goes to visit the stone dragon, she finds the previous batch of chocolates is gone.
Here's their reaction.
You can give a reaction.
She was coming to bring a new bag of dragon chocolates. Is it by myself, or does anybody want to come with me?
Void was with you, because why not?
Kagura would be with you on all your visits to Elnath.
That's so sweet.
That sounds like a good idea.
Alex would probably as well, just, And in the intervening times, he's actually gotten a tattoo of the Pact Mark, where his Pact Mark originally was.
Oh, as we're walking over, River suddenly just she gasps loudly, almost like dropping the fresh batch of dragon chocolate she was bringing this time, and she looks kind of shocked. She goes, "Has anybody else been here recently?"
Void was catching the badge before Zero dropped to the sand, and he can clearly say, "Not that I know, because I have a pretty good connection to the store."
I haven't been here since you have.
And there's no way I would have taken those chocolates.
I know. I don't doubt anyone else in our party who knows of this place would take those, but they're gone.
But how?
Maybe, Jenna says, maybe he came back from the grave and stole them away.
Don't be ridiculous.
Rura gives him a look.
Kagura goes up to Dennis and baps him on the head, and a la Gibbs from NCIS.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
What simply replies to that with, "Don't be ridiculous. Not even the dead can do that. Maybe he got reincarnated as something. Who knows?"
Rura softly gasps at that idea, and then glances back over to where she had left the chocolates.
Or maybe the Elnath of this timeline found this place.
Perhaps. That could also be a case, but to be fair, I think it's a reincarnation.
River looks very, very thoughtful and then just gives a small smile. She goes, and then just walks forward and just sets down the next batch of dragon chocolates. Well, I guess this means I need to come visit sooner then. Because we all know how much he loves these and how quick they go.
Pretty much.
The chocolates have vanished.
She just grins as she goes, you see?
I can't blink
Wait.
and I didn't see anything at all.
You mean they vanished into thin air right in front of us, or after a
Yep.
time skip?
They vanished right in front of you.
Yep, that's why River's grinning.
Not. I guess the lantern of revealing doesn't show anything, right?
Nope.
Figures.
Kana, are you doing this?
I don't think she's doing that.
Kana will appear and just look a bit confused with the head tilt.
Okay, so
River, sorry.
so it's not you.
River just continues to smile and then will like turn on her heel.
You're Alec. All right. So how far is the lantern of revealing?
I give it a.
I think
Lantern
it's
of-
2040.
Lantern of Revealing,
moment.
I think is... Lantern of Revealing, I believe, is 30 feet from the person who's
Okay.
looking at.
Here you go.
Yeah. Okay. So dim light for 30 feet, but it only sheds for bright in 30. Okay. Alex and Volt, what's your perception?
Alex's perception is 13.
Hmm?
Oh, its perception is lower. Just 11.
So, Alex, you briefly see a glimpse of a figure dashing out of the room. Actually, anyone with a perception of 13 would hear the sounds of rapid footsteps, and Alex would actually see a glimpse of the shadow as it passed through your witch sight, and it appears to be holding something.
River just smiles and then can't help but giggle, shaking her head, hearing the footsteps.
Are you guys
Wow.
hearing things I'm not?
Well, I'm
That's
sure.
what it says.
Well, I'm sure they'll show themselves when they feel comfortable.
Yeah, let's not force it.
Am I missing something?
Her-
Don't worry about it, Dennis. I just know that I need to make a whole lot more dragon chocolates now, she says with a grin and then turns around on her heel and starts to walk out.
What follows her?
And I might start having to leave behind letters.
So, as you all leave the demi-plane, you all feel the warmth of the sun as it hits you. The day is just beginning, and you still got many days ahead of you. But the story of the followers of Mayhem is concluded. Thank you all for tuning in to watch this and watch us play, and thank you all for being my players.
Thank you for being the DM.
I know you have a crazy, devious mind, and it's wonderful.
There is one last thing I will do before we end, but before that I want to just briefly say that the sequels will be beginning in a couple of weeks. We just need to get everything set up. Well, I need to get everything set up. Vienna's already ready. Regardless, Rura. You are quietly resting at your home, visited by a couple of the still dragons that come to visit and bring you food and supplies that you need. You hear a soft knock on the door, and then you open it, and you smile. And then the words leave your mouth. Welcome back. And that is where we'll end it.
And then we can imagine some secret unlockable ending where it's out in an open field and a bunch of flashes of light either coming out of nowhere rapidly in the air, and it all ends with revealing that it's Kagura and Alex sword fighting.
I don't get the reference, but that ruined the mood, but okay. See you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
It's
Okay. Now that stuff is